Hello, I'd like to talk to you today about a research titled Adaptive Subtitles, Preferences and Trade-offs in Real-Time Media Adaption. My name is Benjamin Gorman from Bournemouth University, and this work was completed with my collaborators Michael Crabb from the University of Dundee and Michael Armstrong from BBC Research and Development. Subtitles or closed captions are a tool which help people understand media content. Subtitles are meant to have a positive impact when they're used within media, but sometimes their use can reduce the overall viewing experience. And this means that people might understand the content more, but they may become less immersed in the content due to the presence of subtitles. In this work, we question why the experience of watching subtitled content is constrained to a binary choice, when the content, context, and abilities of viewers differ significantly. What we mean by this is currently people can only turn on or off the subtitles, there's no other personalisation that can take place. Our work had two main aims. The first was to understand how people currently interact with subtitled media content, and the second was to understand the trade-offs and challenges that exist when allowing for real-time personalisation of subtitled media content. To begin to understand how people interact with subtitles, we first conducted an online questionnaire. Our questionnaire was completed by 102 participants who self-reported regularly watching what we call scripted media, and this was anything with a subtitle track that was pre-produced, outside of things like YouTube videos. Our questionnaire findings highlight that people interact with subtitles based on environmental factors, such as when or where they're watching, challenges in content such as poor production or bad audio, and personal factors such as when they're tired or if they have a hearing loss. A key area that was discussed by participants surrounded interacting with subtitles due to the challenges in understanding specific accents or actors and altering their usage based on specific content types, such as when they're watching a drama versus a quiz show. People use subtitles differently. To investigate the potential that offering real-time personalisation of subtitles would have on these areas, we introduced a new subtitling approach in this paper called Adaptive Subtitles. Adaptive Subtitles means that we propose that additional metadata is added to subtitle files, which is then used to create opportunities for further adaptation. This moves subtitles from a single object to a structured set of atomic elements. On this slide, I have an example of a current subtitle file, and essentially a subtitle file is blocks of subtitles that appear under certain time blocks. What we've done as part of Adaptive Subtitles here is we've added a simple, almost like an HTML tag called a V tag around individual characters. So in this particular file I have on screen, there is 3 characters, and that means we can actually do adaptations based on those individual characters when they crop up further on within the content. We developed an implementation of this method to provide the viewer with specific control over which characters have subtitles enabled or disabled. And it was really composed of 2 main parts. One was a second screen-based remote, which I'm going to show you in a second, and the other was a web-based video player, and then these 2 systems communicated over a socket-based communication protocol. So I'm going to play this short video now and explain what's happening. So this is what we showed participants. They essentially could select different clips when they watched during the evaluation, and they could essentially tap on the images of the actors, and then that would enable or disable the subtitle. And the colors would correspond with the subtitles shown on the web video player. So I'm now going to show you an example of how this works in real time. So this is from a kind of comedy quiz panel type show.
I keep a spare front door key on my cat's collar. If I ever get locked out, I simply call my cat and he comes to my rescue.
Wow.
What's the name of your cat, Sheila? Stanley. Could you do the call? How do you call Stanley?
So in that particular clip, I only turned on the subtitles for the 2 female speakers, and you saw when I triggered them on and off, they disappeared and appeared immediately, so it was a very real-time interactive system. The evaluation of adaptive subtitles was comprised of a lab-based user study. Participants watched a selection of video clips while using the system, followed by a discussion with one of the researchers of their experience using each technique. And we recruited 19 participants who self-identified as turning on subtitles whilst watching media content at least once in the last 3 months to do this evaluation. Our evaluation findings led to these real-time media design considerations. The first is that you have to provide users with the ability to create granular adaptations to move between understanding content and being immersed in specific contexts. The second is to consider the onboarding of viewers to the content and the technology as separate elements. So that means that for every new show they watch, they have to be onboarded to who's in the show and who might they require subtitles for, and separately how the system works and how the technology works in general. And the third was to embrace the set and forget phenomenon. Adaptive subtitles looks like it has great promise, but it might have more promise over longer clips across longer form content. So thanks for watching. That was Adaptive Subtitles, the preferences and trade-offs in real-time media adaptation.